Hello, Sharks fans! My name is Jacob Boyd, and I'll be presenting to you guys today episode 1 of Inside the Reef with Hello Sharks fans, hosted by me, Jacob Boyd. I'll go over everything Cuda Country has to offer, starting with Tech CU's arena venue, then getting into how much or how to watch the Barracuda games, either attending or watching at home, all the way to game previews and reviews and prospect player profiles and more. Now that the season is underway, I'll be, doing, these episodes once a week on the Barracuda moving forward. So, Sharks fans, please let me know if you like these or not. If so, I could take them out. But I thought this was a great way to add in some Barracuda, prospect analysis. So I hope y'all can enjoy, a bit of prospect content. And, these players did not make the team out of training camp, but always have the ability to get brought up at any point during the season. If there's injuries or, NHL players not playing up to their standards or capabilities, they can always get brought up. Every practice and every shift on the ice for the Barracuda, these mix of young and veteran guys will be competing to make their mark and and show why the Sharks organization should bring them up at any point in the season. This is why I think it is important for me to, present to all my viewers what Sharks prospects pipeline has moving forward, and also show how each is progressing for the Barracuda, week in and week out. I'll also get into, some NCAA content, SHL, USHL, QMJHL, KHL, OHL, and WHL hockey content, specifically just relating only to Sharks prospects in each of those leagues. So stay tuned for that throughout the season as well. Maybe not once a week. Maybe that's going to be, a once a month kind of thing. So to kind of tie in, the Quentin Musties, the, Will Smiths, like the first round draft picks that were just selected by the Sharks. I think those players you will want to hear about. So I will be going ahead and, showing you guys all that content and more about once a month moving forward. But today I specifically wanted to stick with the Barracuda and get right into it. So as you see here with the Tech CU, this is the starting segment I wanted to start off with is the Barracuda and its venue. The venue is, Tech CU Arena, as you can see on the picture. This is a new state-of-the-art hockey facility in its second full season in use, just starting, last year, obviously, as being the first year, associated with being at near like Sharks Ice. The ticketing center is really in the back of the building, as you can kind of see in this parking area here. Looking from the front of the arena, if you're driving on the street side, you'll actually notice that the venue like ticketing booth is actually in the back, where kind of like where the premium reserve parking area is, as you can see in that picture there. But going back to the actual picture here, You could see the ticketing booth. You could walk right in through the backside. You can also go in through the front side. Either way, you can get into this venue, and it is a beautiful, beautiful arena for I would bring my friends and family here to enjoy a hockey game, and it will be state of the art. So I suggest anybody that hasn't been to this venue, check it out. They do have practices, but it's generally not in the Tech CU arena. It's usually, on the orange rinks or the different rinks that the Sharks Ice has to offer for the Sharks. But they do have, special events that go into Tech CU, that are not just Barracuda games. So like the rookie face-off sometimes is held here. Other opportunities to watch the Sharks are in this, arena as well. Let's see here. Oh, and then getting to the, general, ticket admissions per game. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the Barracuda and say the Henderson Silver Knights, who they're playing. Um, this coming in the next couple days. Generally starting, as you see here on the screen, of $13 per game tickets. So that's, a corner, end seat that you can get. So very reasonable pricing per ticket. And it's just a fun atmosphere to be at. So you could bring kids, family, friends, whatever, and enjoy a pretty inexpensive you know game to go see for hockey. It goes all the way up to $62 for glass seats. So if you wanted to sit on the glass, it would be 62. So that does get pretty expensive. But yeah, those are the options there. Either way, I think all seats in this venue are amazing. And I personally would choose the $13 seats for affordability, and you still get great seats. But you are on the glass, type of person, then you can get it for $62, and it's a great experience for all. I want to go ahead and transition to you can also go to sanjosebarracuda.com/tickets and get season ticket info there. And then you could also buy single game tickets. And then you could also check out all the promotional nights the Barracuda games have to offer during the season. As you can see on this promo night here on the screen, let's see here. Let me go ahead and do this. You could go to any game that fits kind of your lifestyle. I highly recommend you purchase a ticket for those specific nights if one a giveaway night or something piques your interest, like I think the teddy bear toss is pretty cool. I think that's a really fun atmosphere. Like a Sharks goal, you can throw the teddy bears on the ice. It just gets littered with teddy bears, so it's pretty cool. Either way, check out the promos to learn more, and you can specifically click on each promo, and it will take you directly to those games to buy those tickets for those specific nights, because sometimes they have it on multiple nights on certain promos. So go there to check that out. Next, I wanted to show you something pretty cool. I thought this was one of my favorite things that I saw on a time lapse for the Tech CU arena getting installed. So let me go ahead and play that for you guys now. A little bit slow motion here, just so that you guys can see what that looks like. I thought it was cool to see a time lapse of an arena getting put in. It starts off with just a blank slate floor, and them putting the ice sheet on, and then everyone, doing the rounds of making the ice look like a hockey sheet of ice with all the face off dots and the logo in the middle and things of that nature. I just thought it was really cool behind the scenes kind of outlook that Sharks fans might not see on how it gets ready for opening night. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next, you have the Barracuda are sponsored by the NBC Sports. And if you haven't downloaded the app on your phone, I would download it now. Um, I've downloaded it since the beginning of this season. So it just gives you guys the opportunity to see what's going on with the Barracuda. Shows you what games are televised, which games are not. So I have the release memo on the screen here, and it's just saying that they just partnered with NBC Sports California, and for 3 games they're going to be hosting a live broadcast of Barracuda games. So they're also going to broadcast the 2024 AHL All-Star Classic. You can buy tickets at TechCU Arena from February 4th through the 5th. So go get your tickets for that. I think that will be a fun event. But not only that, they're going to have December 9th, they're going to host a live broadcast for all to watch December 9th, January 9th, and January 26th against Henderson, Ontario, and Calgary, respectively. So check that app out so you guys can learn more about that and check out the Barracuda live on your mobile devices, on a computer, on your any streaming apps as well on your TV. Next, you have the Barracuda. Let's see here. You can also stream Barracuda games. Let me go ahead and pull up the dynamic pricing here. Well, not dynamic pricing, just the overall packages that the Barracuda have for their AHL TV. So since the Barracuda games are not broadcast live, just anywhere on like CSN Sports Bay Area, you do have to pay a package or fee for AHL TV if you want to, watch the Barracuda on TV. Or on a streaming device other than those 3 games. There's team packages. One is a home and away package for $64.99 per year. Or if you just want to pay either just home games or just away games, it's $44.99, and you get to pick which ones do you want, home or away. So if you go to a lot of Barracuda games, you can just get the away package, and that will pretty much be, instead of paying $64.99, you could pay only $44.99. So that's pretty cool. And again, that's just regular season. There is a fee for playoffs, and you could buy the total package for $104.99 if you would like to do that. But I would say that's more for like the hardcore fan in terms of Barracuda hockey. But yeah, I think this is a great way to watch the games if you are wanting to see the prospects, or you could just come on Inside the Reef and just hear about the games that I'm talking about, which is totally fine. You can also listen in with Nick Nolenberger, who is the voice of the Barracuda, at sjbarracuda.com/listen. I'll link that in the description below. So if you guys wanted to, just copy that into a URL, you can go ahead and do that. And just like listening to Dan Ruzanowski of the Sharks Audio Network, you can listen to Nick Nolenberger all for free on that on the link that I'm going to be presenting below. Next, I wanted to, take a look at getting into the Barracuda schedule. You will have noticed the San Jose Barracuda have played their first two games against the Rockford Ice Hogs, which is the AHL affiliate of the Chicago Blackhawks. You'll notice that the schedule is a bit different than the NHL in that the AHL has home and home stands, and then they have away stands, meaning these AHL teams have 2 to 3 days in a city and play those teams twice in a 2 to 3 day period. I believe they do this because of the travel and keeping costs relatively lower for the teams. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's my belief and reasoning behind it. Whereas NHL teams will, not really play the same teams back to back unless it's, say, a home and road, road trip, right? As you can see on the schedule, the Barracuda play, the Henderson Silver Knights, whom are the, Golden Knights AHL affiliate on Friday, October 20th and Saturday, October 21st, both in Henderson, Las Vegas. So that's kind of, the home or the way away stand, right? And they just had the home and home stand versus the Rockford Ice Hogs. So this actually is where they played the rookie face-off this year in Vegas. So that's in the Henderson against the Henderson Silver Knights coming up again October 20th and 21st. Next, I'm going to be transitioning into the game. Excuse me. Game one against the Iceford Ice Hogs. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. The Barracuda hosted opening night versus the Rockford Ice Hogs on October 14th. It was an early 2 p.m. start before getting into the game, though. I wanted to mention that the Barracuda just missed the playoffs last season, finishing eighth in the Pacific Division, only to miss the playoffs by 1 point to me. Only missing one by 1 point. You could see on this stat here, go down to the Pacific Division, go down to number 8. The San Jose Barracuda had 69 points, along with number 7, Tucson Roadrunners had 69 points. But Tucson had more goals for, which allowed them to be in the playoffs. To me, I feel the AHL playoffs just about everyone makes it because out of 24 teams in the conference, 17 of those teams made the playoffs and only 7 missed, meaning the Barracuda were the 7th worst team in their conference. But either way, the Barracuda are hoping for yet a better outcome and playoff push this season. The Ice Hogs made the playoffs by finishing 5th in the Central Division last year out of 7 teams. As you can see here in the Central, they were 5th, Rockford, last year. And this was the standings for last year. But getting into the game, I wanted to show you guys, that, the Ice Hogs did get off to an early start by scoring the first 2 goals of the game, um, pretty much midway through that first period to make it, 2-0, Ice Hogs right off the bat. The Barracuda then got a goal on their own by Brandon Coe, assisted by Ethan Cardwell and Jacob Peterson to make it 2-1. But then the Ice Hogs at the end of the first period, unfortunately for the Barracuda, got uh, 2 goals pretty early in the second period, and then ended up getting 5 unanswered goals scored on them to make it 7-1 for the Ice Hogs. But if it wasn't for Shakir Mukhamadullin scoring in the final half of the third period, which was assisted by Gushkin and Carpenter. It was just a blowout in terms of the first game, you know, opening night for the Barracuda. And although the Barracuda did outshoot the Ice Hogs 36-33, I thought the Barracuda did not have, that many scoring chances, but the Ice Hogs had a bunch. And unfortunately, Magnus Krona was in goal, and there was just backdoor passes after backdoor passes, meaning that they're just high danger scoring opportunities for the Ice Hogs all night long. So it ended up Ice Hogs 7, Barracuda 2 after the first game. And so that means that the Barracuda went 0-1 to start their season. But getting into game 2, here's the score: 36-34 shots. I think I said 33. Sorry about that. But Ice Hogs were 3 of 5 on the power play, and the Barracuda were only 1 of 4. Next game, game 2, the very next day, it was, I know John McCarthy, the coach of the Barracuda, said it's really good to, get right back into the game for game 2, which was the very next day. And it was the exact opposite of game 1, which, you had the Barracuda scoring first on an Ethan Cardwell goal assisted by Cole Castles. That was Ethan Cardwell's first pro goal of his career, which is great to see from a young developing player in the Sharks organization. So after one period, it was 1-0 CUDA. Early in the second, the Ice Hogs did score 2 quick goals to make it 2-1 Ice Hogs. But just 1 minute after giving up the lead, Justin Bailey scored his first with the Barracuda, assisted by Cole Castles. This was the start of 6 unanswered goals by the Barracuda. That one tied it 2-2, though. But midway through the second, you had Tanner Kaspick, made it 3-2 with the first of the season, assisted by Pooley and Bailey. Then, with only 2 seconds remaining in the second period, Ryan Carpenter scored his first of the season from Pooley and Bailey to make it 4-2 at the end of 2. Then to start the third period, Cole Castles gets his first of the year shorthanded, assisted by Leon Gowenke. Oscar Lindblom added his first midway through the period, assisted by Nathan Todd and Justin Bailey. Then the final tally came from Ryan Carpenter for his second of the night from Bailey and Frisch. The final was 7-2 Barracuda victory, meaning both the Ice Hogs and Barracuda won by a final score of 7-2 in their respective games. It was nice to see the CUDA come back after that disappointing opening night loss. Transitioning to the final slide here, I wanted to pick one guy from the Barracuda roster and talk about him in this game, in the game so far, as shown after 2 games played. Justin Bailey is leading the team in points with 1 goal, 3 assists, and a +3. I thought he had a great training camp, and also thought he could be one of the players moving up to the NHL roster at some point this season because of his size and speed and what he has shown since donning the Sharks/Barracuda jersey. It seems to me that the Sharks need to get more speed in their lineup, and this man provides that with not just speed but grit as well. If Bailey keeps producing like, he has through 2 games, there could be a promotion coming soon rather than later. But that's it for me, Sharks fans. For this first episode of Inside the Reef, thanks for tuning in and catching this episode. Catch the next episode 2 of Inside the Reef with Hello Sharks fans next week, as I catch you guys all up on, all the prospects in the Barracuda organization throughout the roster and a bit of player profiles for each of those guys. But thanks again, Sharks fans. Peace.